Well, hey crafty friends, it's Hiedi Scott with DiyDreaming, and I'm super duper 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 excited about this video. I am going to be showing you a whole bunch of different ideas, and we'll actually do some of Christmas tree ornaments that you can make out of painter's drop cloth, canvas duck, canvas ticking, old sweaters. This was a dress from Goodwill. I mean, there's 100 different things that you can make them out of. And then stuff them. So we're going to be making hearts, mittens, and Christmas trees stuffed for the Christmas tree. All in cream, but all of these ideas can be replicated in whatever your preferred color decor is. So let's hop right in. Okay, so here I've got, this is like almost all that I have left of my painter's drop cloth. So I'm going to need to go get some more, and the kind I like is Everbuilt. It's at Lowe's. No, it's at Home Depot. This is, oh gosh, I can't think of the name for this. This is quilt batting. This is a sweater that I got a couple years ago at Goodwill, and I cut the sleeves off, and I've crafted with the sleeves, but we're going to do something different. This is a cute dress that I bought at Goodwill, not with the intention to wear it because it was way too small, but look how cool the fabric is. So I have just been using a little bit of it here and there. And then this is canvas ticking in a very, very neutral color. And you can use all kinds of little bits and pieces of lace, pom-poms, buttons, bells, absolutely whatever you have. So, and then I'm going to just fill them with this polyfill. Okay, so let me show you what I have made already. Some of these are from last year, a few are from the year before. And then we'll hop in and we're gonna finish. I have 3 or 4 of them to finish, and I have one to get started. Okay, so speaking of canvas ticking, look at these adorable mittens that I made. I think it was last year. I don't know. Super easy. They are a little big. So the mittens that I'm making this year, I'm making a little bit smaller. Here are several Christmas trees. Okay, this one's my favorite. And it's just canvas duck with rows of different bits and pieces of lace, some old buttons, some pom-poms, and it's stuffed. Absolutely love that. This one was just a piece of canvas duck that I stenciled with this folk art forest, I think is what it's called, from magnoliadiy.com. Super neutral, love that one too. And then this one I made either last year or the year before, I can't honestly remember. It's a Christmas tree also. It has a or a tassel hanging out the bottom, and I just used lace for the hanger. And then this is gold and silver on my favorite stencil of all time from magnoliadiy.com called Victorian Pattern. So there are some Christmas trees. Oh, and then as far as mittens go, I also had this one. I have a couple more that are on the tree, but they're up too high, and I wasn't motivated to go dig the ladder out of the garage. But anyways, I made this with that sweater from Goodwill. Isn't that cute? This is about the perfect size, if you ask me. And then these are a couple of heart ornaments that I made with this quilt batting, which is so soft, and it just gives the nicest texture. There's one, and here's another. So I just wanted to show you all those ideas. Those are going back on my Christmas tree. And let's start with this one. And then we'll do this one, and then I have a bunch for us to finish up. So get out a pen and a piece of paper, and you can take notes about what you might want to get, you know, together to do a project like this. Of course, you don't have to do it in cream, but cream is an awesome color for Christmas, if you ask me. Okay, so I cut out one layer of canvas duck for this Christmas tree ornament that I'm about to make. And it could be absolutely whatever size. I don't have a pattern, I just roughly cut it out. I was thinking, I wonder if it's about the same size as this one, which it could be smaller, but we're going to go with what I have right here. Okay, so you have a front and a back, however you choose to do that. And first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to glue the back to the front. And I'm leaving the bottom open so that I can stuff it that way, but we won't stuff it until it's decorated. Joanne says she loves the mitten ornament and the heart, and she's going to make some. Yeah, and you could do these with the little people in your life also, and just use some of that Eileen's tacky glue, or use a hot gluing device, but you handle it. Don't let the little people handle it. And use a low temperature one for sure, which is what I always use at this point. Because I've had way too many hot glue burns and they hurt. Okay, so I'm just going to glue the front to the back, and I'm not worrying that my edges aren't cut perfect because I can trim all that up at the very end. Where's the end of this? Here we go. Okay, so here's my Christmas tree with a zillion glue strings. Next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just do rows of different laces and trims and bits. And I was thinking I'm going to use this. This might seem kind of weird, but this is one of these trims that had pom-poms on it, and I cut the pom-poms off, but I think it's kind of cool looking, and I'm going to put it on the bottom layer. And then I would just start using whatever I had on hand. This is just some, I believe it was the Dollar Tree in Canada, but it's just your basic cream colored lace. And these are not really going to get handled, so you don't have to do a ton of glue. So stay with me because we're going to finish up a couple that I have over here. And I can come back later and add more glue anywhere that I feel like I need it. Just put this one on. This is kind of cool. Last summer, I think it was, or it may have been fall, we made a trip out to Oregon to spend some time with our son, who lives in Bend. And there's a great antique store there that always has all kinds of things. One time we went, I bought a huge bag of white buttons. This last time I got a bunch of little packages that had vintage lace, antique lace tatting remnants, So I could use some of that. This one's pretty right here. It would be better if I had ironed it, but I didn't, but let's use it. If you have like a, I don't know, a sweater that has sentimental meaning to you, you could use something like that. I have some lace here somewhere. Oh, this. That I am sure it came out of my mom's sewing stash. I am sure this is the lace that we used when we sewed my senior prom dress. So, and it was just sitting, you know, in a box. So I figure it's better to have it come out and be seen on an ornament than to just sit in the box, right? Okay, so let me just do a couple more layers. Let's use this interesting piece. And then we'll jump ahead to finish up some of these that I have been working on. Okay, so what I would do is I would do all the different rows, and then I would sprinkle some buttons on it here and there, like I did with this one, and then cut a little something for the bottom of your Christmas tree, add some ribbon, stuff it, and close it. So that is what I will do with this one off camera, and I will get pictures. Let's jump ahead to some of the ones that I have done the main steps to. Like this one. Oh my gosh. Is that not absolutely precious? I think this might be my favorite, and it's the simplest. Okay, this one I made with painter's drop cloth. Let me tell you about painter's drop cloth in case you've never worked with it. Here I have a little piece. Okay, painter's drop cloth is what painters use when they're painting to catch all the drops and to protect furniture and carpet and wood and all that kind of stuff. When you get it, I like Everbuilt brand from Home Depot. You can get any different size. When you get it, you are going to wash it 2 times in hot with towels and dry it 2 times. That will soften it, because when you get this out of the bag, it's stiff and crunchy. It's meant to be washed. It softens up really nice, especially after 2 washes. So that's what I used, front and back. And then I had this doily, which I was kind of, this was a Goodwill, or a Queen of Hearts doily. I feel guilty almost cutting up something like this. But the thing is, it was getting no action. It was not being seen or enjoyed at all, and I will enjoy it for years to come on this sweet little ornament. So I just figured out where I wanted to place it, put down some hot glue, stuck my little doily on, cut around it, and let's stuff it and see what it looks like, and then we'll move on to the next one. So you can do any shape you want. You could do bells, you could do crosses, you could do a snowman. I have mittens, Christmas trees, and hearts. What else could you do? You could cut out something that looked like a little church. There's a ton of different things that you could do. And then you just, however you're motivated at that moment. I never really thought any of these projects out. I just grabbed what was here and what whatever at the moment appealed to me. So don't put too much thought into exactly how you're going to do a project, and just enjoy yourself. And that way, you know, your project will turn out and you'll love it, and you won't be saying, oh, I wanted it to be, you know, this or that. I think crafting is equally about what you make, but I think it's also about how you feel when you're making it. Look how precious that is. Okay, so I think that's plenty stuffed. So don't put a bunch of extra pressure on yourself. Gingerbread man, yes, that would be a great idea. And we could do like a little gingerbread house too. I do want to give you a couple of words of caution. Oh, love this. Okay, I need to go outside and shake these off and get all the little strings off of them, and maybe use my heating device to melt some of the glue strings. But my advice to you is to be careful when you're stuffing something and then gluing it closed, because polyfill gets very hot. Even if you're using a low temperature hot gluing device, it gets very, very hot when you are using hot glue on it, and it could burn you with the polyfill with the hot glue on it. Even low temperature got on your hand, it could definitely burn you. Okay, let's finish this one that I made. Been working on this project. I'm excited to load these on my Christmas tree. And I'm just thinking to myself, let's make a little bottom for this. Out of my teeny little scrap. Yeah, that'll work. I am going to glue one long strip together and then glue it inside. And it's going to have kind of these jagged edges. So let's just put it right here. Okay, let's stop this puppy. So does anyone have questions? What do you guys think? Do you like this idea? Do you think it's weird? It looks so pretty on a Christmas tree. I'm combining, I have a whole bunch of like nativity scenes and stuff in wood, in natural wood, and then I have some bits that have metallics. So that's kind of the theme of my tree. It's what it was last year and it's what it will be this year. Look how cute that is. So that is what I am doing, but I did seriously consider having pink, and then I don't know, my husband was not super thrilled with that idea, so okay, look at the back of it. Love it! And this one's going to be darling when it's finished too. Okay, now I have a couple of mittens that I made. Let's see. This one I showed you, or maybe I didn't show it to you. This one is painter's drop cloth, and I took a piece of that dress. This dress that came from Goodwill, and I just laid it over the top, and it had these little funky little flower things on it, so I put some buttons in the center of that, and I put a little band around the top of lace, put a lace hanger on. Isn't it cute? Okay, and then this one I also did yesterday when I was figuring out what I wanted to show you. This is canvas ticking, And you might notice that I ran the stripe kind of at an angle. It's not directly vertical or horizontal. I did that on purpose. And I made the back piece just out of canvas duck. I made it a little bit longer than the front so that when I had finished decorating and it was stuffed, I just folded it over and glued it down. Can you see what I'm saying? And then I put my hanger on the back outside. But for this one, I just cut apart a piece of a lace doily of some sort. I cut apart the pieces, I glued them on, and then I added some of these little vintage mother of pearl buttons all over. Isn't that one cute too? Okay, and then I made also this one that we'll finish, and then I'm going to show you this heart that we will finish up too. And when I'm all done, I will get pictures and put pictures in the comments as well as just over on DIY Dreaming. So do a this or sprinkle if you're enjoying this video and these ideas. And let me know if you think you're going to give it a try. Okay, this one is Painter's Drop Cloth, which we would have been doing more Painter's Drop Cloth today, but I couldn't find any more. And I have to go to get a bag of it from Home Depot and then wash and dry it twice, and I didn't have time to do that yesterday or today. So this is another mitten with Painter's Drop Cloth, and then I just took a piece. This was like a lace collar off of something, and I got it at that antique store in Bend, Oregon. So I just glued that on there. I glued a little band of these pom-poms, and then I cut off a few extra and glued them down like they're big buttons. Let's stuff this one. I do think I'm going to get my my ruler out, because I do definitely prefer this size. These are all about the same to this one. So let me just grab that right now and we'll stuff this. Okay, so I am liking the smaller mittens, although I love these. I'll continue to use them. These are about 9 inches long and about 7 inches from the tip of the thumb to the other side. So 9 by 7. These are much smaller. These are about 5.5 long and about 5 from the side of the thumb to the side of the mitten. So it's quite a bit smaller, and I like that. Sometimes when I do crafts on here, what I'm trying to figure out is what I don't like. So I can share that with you as just almost like a little warning. Don't make them too big unless you have a gigantic tree, or if it makes sense in your decor, then maybe you want to do it really big. But, and these look great on my tree. They're just a little bit large. Okay, and like I said, I will spend some time getting all the glue strings and little bits of this and that off of these. I'll trim everything up nice and neat. So these two, well, and this one, I just covered the fronts with a bit of a collar, a lacy collar. This was a dress, and this was a piece of a doily. So keep in mind that you can cover the whole entire front of something with that. Or you can do it like we're working on the Christmas tree. Let's see, where is it? Like this one. You could do smaller little scraps of lace or trim or whatever you have going across your project. And of course, I am always going to use buttons. Okay, this one I was just fooling with this morning. Let me tell you what it is. Okay, this is that quilt batting. And it's really nice and soft, and it's a great color. It's got some texture to it. So I just decided to use it. And then I have a little faux kind of bow that I made here with a couple pieces of cream tulle. This was just some of this, a garland. I don't know where that came from. And then I added a button with a little piece of bling from Totally Dazzled. So let me glue it together. I'll leave this side open. I do want to give you another warning for this though, and that is that quilt batting gets super duper 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 hot when it has hot glue on it. So I'm going to put on my little fingers, even though this is low temperature, it just does. It gets super hot. It's like the temperature of the glue melts the quilt batting. So I'm just using my little rubber fingers to protect myself. Okay, let's leave that part open. With this one, my goal here really was to add a little bit of metallic to it. And I think you can see what I did. Okay, let's stuff it and seal it. And then I'll get busy. Well, first of all, I'm going to get busy cleaning my desk off here because I have stuff on the floor. This is one of those projects where you start digging and then you find something and you think, oh wait, I know I have whatever. I know I have some of this sparkly tinsel. I know I have this, I know I have that I could use. And before you know it, your crafting area is a disaster filled with all kinds of goodness that you just had to use. Okay. I'm pushing my polyfill in. And I'm going to cut where I squished some of the polyfill out. Cut that off. Trim this up nice and neat, fluff up my bow. But what do you guys think? This has been super duper duper fun. And over the last almost 6 years, I believe it is, I have made a ton of different ornaments. So I am going to be making some more this week. If you're watching live, be looking for lots of ornaments, easy ones that you could do that don't require any artistic abilities. So come back to DIY Dreaming, do a this or a this if you feel like it. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Check to see if you've liked and followed this page. And if you haven't done that yet, do it. I would love to see you again. Alrighty. Have a blessed and wonderful rest of your day and come back and look for pictures.